Every level of growth begins with a form of grief. Now, we discussed what this type of grief is in episode 13. It is adaptive grief. It is a grief that we feel the loss of a familiarity, an identity, or even some traits that we develop to get us through survival mode. Now, when we are elevating and growing, we experience that adaptive grief in our lives because we're no longer who or did what we had to in those particular moments to get us where we are today. So when we level up, every time we decide to level up, we are feeling a loss of behavior, thought process, feelings, and conditions that we once participated in that made us feel comfortable. It was just what got us through then. And every time we move forward from where we are today and in the future, we will experience that grief, loss of what we had to adapt to in order to make it from one position to the next. What's going on, my curious and intellectual people? And we're back with our last episode for the fourth section, healing and interruption. And today's topic is going to be why growth hurts and why it's the best thing for you, with intriguing insights, with deep conversations meet everyday life, looking beyond the obvious to uncover meaning, challenge assumption, and find wisdom in places most people overlook. Growth is often seen as a positive goal, something we all strive for in life and in work. But the reality is, growth frequently hurts. It challenges us, it disrupts our comfort, and it forces us to face the uncertainty. When we are growing, we're stepping into the unknown. We're leaving behind familiar habits, beliefs, and relationships that no longer serve us. The process can trigger feelings of fear, doubt, and frustration. And it's human and natural to want to avoid pain and stick to what feels comfortable. But growth demands you to push through those feelings. And one thing that might be hard to accept, or you might not understand it, or probably haven't even seen it that way, that growth feels like a loss. And I know what you're saying, because it is a loss. Loss of the person you were at the beginning of your growth. Personal evolution requires you to shed old habits, identities, and relationships to make room for new ones. The process is uncomfortable because it demands releasing familiar comfort zones, causing grief, loneliness. Yeah, I said it, loneliness, and a sense of breaking before improvement. Think about a muscle workout. When exercising, our muscles experience tiny tears, but that pain is necessary. It's the signal the body needs to repair and to grow stronger. Personal growth is the same way. The discomfort that you're feeling is a sign that you're breaking old patterns, but you're building new strengths. But here's the powerful truth. This pain is temporary and purposeful. It's a gateway to resilience, deeper self-awareness, and greater fulfillment. When you lean into discomfort, instead of resisting it, you develop the mental and emotional muscles needed to handle bigger challenges in the future. So remember, you will feel a loss, and this loss is grief. But the best thing for you to do is to accept it and to let go of the hurt because it involves losing the person, the dream, the routine, effectively forcing the brain to break comfortable attachments and adapt new painful realities. Growth also hurts because it forces us to confront parts of ourselves that we might have ignored or denied. Maybe it's a limiting belief, the fear of failure, or a habit that's holding you back. Facing these internal challenges isn't easy, but is essential to transformation. The pain is like a mirror, and I say mirror because it's a reflection of ourselves. But the reflection revealed is unsurfacing inner pain. But before growth allows expansion, it requires releasing. Psychologically, it's the death of the familiar. Our brain is wired for familiarity, not fulfillment. Even if something is unhealthy, such as a habit, a relationship, a mindset, if it's familiar, our brain registers that it's safe. So, when we let go, our brain interprets loss. It triggers discomfort, anxiety, and even grief. And we feel like something is wrong. But in actuality, nothing is wrong. You're disrupting a pattern your brain once depends on. You're not just letting go of what hurt you, you're letting go of what you learned to survive with. Now, we have discussed this several times in this episode, episode 13, and I'm sure you experienced it yourself throughout your whole life because from a child, you experienced grief, whether if it was just losing a toy or losing someone in the store or losing the money in that game that you played or just losing the game, period, playing with someone. But emotionally, growth feels like grief. What you are grieving is who you used to be, what you thought life would look like, and the comfort of the predictable. And you know what? Even if it wasn't good for you, but before growth feels like elevation, it feels like separation. Now, identity wise, we can't take everything with us. To become someone new, something old has to go. So that means old habits, old environments, and old versions of ourselves. And this is where the real tension is. Part of us is trying to evolve, and another part of us is trying to hold on. But you can't serve two masters. You're either going to love one or you're going to hate the other. So, growth hurts because our future is pulling us forward while our past is pulling us back. Now, spiritually, letting go is surrender. And surrender comes before transformation. You're not just releasing control, you're trusting God with what you can no longer carry. And this can be uncomfortable because control feels like security, surrender feels like uncertainty. But in scripture, transformation follows surrender. We lose our life to live, and we die to self to be renewed. So, in order for God to transform us, we must let go everything that hinders us. Transformation, it disrupts comfort because growth requires letting go. Transformation doesn't just add to our current life, it reorganizes it. And anything that reorganizes our life interrupts what once felt normal predictable, and safe. But if transformation didn't disrupt us, then we would stay exactly the same. Discomfort is not dysfunctional. It's evidence of change. We're rewiring patterns, outgrowing environments, and becoming unfamiliar with our old self. Comfort keeps us consistent, but transformation makes us evolve. Now, discomfort signals expansion. Feelings of unease, doubt, anxiety, or difficulty are not signs of failure, but rather indicators that you're pushing past the limitations and expanding the capacity, potential, and identity. Personal, professional, or emotional growth rarely happen in comfort zone, making discomfort a necessary growing pain to level up. That discomfort is what you feel when your current capacity is being stretched out. It's not the enemy of growth, it's the indicator of it. So here's the thing, if you never feel discomfort, then likely you're doing what you already know. You're staying in your current limits and avoiding expansion altogether. In this context, discomfort is not regression, it's progress under pressure, because comfort maintains our current life, but discomfort is what grows it. So now I want to point out one misinterpretation that hold most people back. Most people, they feel discomfort and assume this isn't for me. Something is wrong. And they feel the need to go back. So you retreat right when growth begins. But that is so far from the truth. What you're feeling is validated. What you experience is real. But the lie that is telling you discomfort, that is not for you, and that you should stay where you at, is a lie that is tricking you from advancing, expanding, leveling up, and elevating yourself beyond the limits that you are in. Because new rooms feels strange at first. You just got to get comfortable in those new rooms and adjust. But if any of this has helped you in any form or fashion, or might even just brought a light bulb to you, click that subscribe button and follow me. Continue to listen. What we do here is we offer information, experiences that would challenge you so that way you can grow, expand, and level up. The things that we deal with real life, the things that I've struggled with myself, that been through myself, me, my friends, and everyone. So if this is helping you and you feel that it can help someone else, share it with someone else too. Follow and subscribe and stay tuned into intriguing insights. Remember, clarity doesn't come from easy answers, but from the courage to ask the hard ones. So stay curious, stay open, and keep looking deeper. Peace.